I want to welcome everybody to our Mendon Cultural Council meeting, our regular members and our guests that we appreciate your coming. I'm going to start the meeting with reviewing the minutes from the last meeting. We met on January 16th at 7 o'clock in the town hall. In attendance was Barbara, Shannon, Sandy, myself, and Jim. The council reviewed and approved the meetings from the previous meeting of December 12th. A discussion was held on an historic scavenger hunt in the month of May, around the 17th. We were going to ask the historic committee member to come to our next meeting. Shannon said she'd reach out to Ruth Brady, who's a member, and ask her if she'd be willing to come. And of course, she's here tonight. Thank you. As well as, and an additional discussion was done on the FY25 grants because we had received notification from our representative that we needed to finalize and do a final allotment in order to be able to finalize the grant allotment. Meeting adjourned around 7:45. All of those in favor of accepting, can I have a motion for somebody to accept the minutes? Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So we get on to new business tonight. We've invited two members of the Historical Society to come, and we appreciate it very much. We were kind of toying with or talking about doing an historic scavenger hunt in the town. We wanted to make it fun, somewhat easy, but not too easy and not too hard. And we felt that the best place for somebody to tell us, since you guys are familiar with all the historic sites in town, as to where to have it, as far as what sites we should do. Like I know there's probably say 13 graveyards in the town of Mendon.
19, I think.
Oh, 19 graveyards.
Yeah.
But I could never tell you we're all 19.
Yeah.
What streets
They're
they're
probably
on.
buried in people's backyards.
They are.
Yeah.
But, I would never know and what their names are. So, we'd like to do that, or what's the oldest house in town? Just to get the people in Mendon familiar with the town. I mean, my husband was born and raised here, but I bet you he couldn't tell you half the stuff that's in the town. I'm sure a lot of people don't know that. And it would be kind of nice to educate people on the town and what we have and give them a few fun, maybe do a fun fact with it, or try to make them, the fun fact is, okay, Paul Revere is buried in this graveyard. It is adjacent to yada, yada, yada. And what we would do is do a QR code and set up a site with a QR code. And they would have to go and scan the QR code
So we
to
don't be
show
there.
that they've been there. We would register them and put them in a registry.
That's very cool. Yeah.
And then have them scan the QR code so that when they get to the site, they don't have to do it in any order. They just have to do the sites. They could scan it and then we know, okay, we can do in real time, look to say, oh, Team Adam's been to yada, 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 yada. And then Team Adam can't come back and say, well, I did all 12.
Right.
No,
What
you
would be
didn't.
kind of cool also is to ask them, okay, now that you're at Paul Revere's grave, what is the third line? What's so significant about his gravestone? Does it have a rooster on it or something crazy about it?
Yeah,
They need to look for.
They need to look for it. They need to look for it.
Yeah.
And that way it gives them, it makes it fun, but it also gives them some history and it makes them interact with different aspects of the town. And that's what we were kind of toying with.
I know the exact person. Decorating.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, he was a teacher, he was a 6th grade teacher.
Yeah, he's amazing.
History teacher, and he's done all this.
Oh, perfect.
But that's why we're asking you, because we'd like your help as far as what sites you would think would be.
How many sites would you be thinking of?
10,
Maybe
can
10?
we do 10 sites
The idea too is to have like a central meeting spot at
Right.
the beginning. So
in the
we could
beginning?
Gather folks together
Right.
and then they would more or less get their instructions.
Correct.
We'd advertise it as well.
And try to, maybe make a big story. When you come back to the town square.
Yes, we would think the central meeting place would be the town hall. Everybody would meet at the town hall, we'd kick off there.
Yes.
And then we'd have them go Paul said, like a circle around the town of Mendon.
Yeah.
We'd give them a certain amount of time. to do it in, say 4 hours or something like that. Nothing too long and crazy, but nothing too short that they're running around like banshees throughout the town. Right? We could do some close to the center of town. We can do some on the outskirts of town that people want to drive. Then they'd all come back, say, okay, you all have to be back here by 1:00. And at 1:00, we would know what, within a half hour, what the updates are as to who would win. I'm hoping that we can go out to some of the businesses and ask them for prizes, like,
Small gift cards.
A gift card or something like that, just so that, we can do, okay. And if we've got a tie, then we're gonna do it, if we got a tie with people, we're gonna do a drawing in front of them so that everybody is there. And,
And so that everything finishes that day.
correct.
Yes.
So everything,
You can
No,
wait
it's not
to.
true.
no, it's not, it's all done that day.
Right.
What I'd like to do is get maybe poster boards and we can do a leaderboard so people can see along the way, as
We're
far
gonna
as
have access to the QR code.
we'll have access to the QR, so we can be able to see, so that we can say, okay, Team Adams got 10 done right now, according to the QR, according to the board. And that way, the people can kind of also see the stats as they come in too, to see who's where and what, how many have gotten what right and whatever else.
Is it legal for them to look up on their phone where these sites are, like, because, that.
You can't, they would have to have their phone, because they're gonna have to take a QR.
Yeah.
But if we make it that they don't, believe me, half the people will know, I shouldn't say that. I should say, a lot of people will not, it won't be probably as easy to find it on your phone when you're talking about town history.
Right.
Unless you're a famous town like Lexington, Concord,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, I don't think historical cemetery,
And all of that, so it won't
Especially if
be,
you're looking for a particular site.
Site, correct. and your phone's not gonna tell you what's the oldest house in Mendon.
Right.
no.
It's not gonna tell you that. So your phone will be helpful, but it won't be helpful.
Okay, I get it, yeah.
Yeah.
But
And you could also leave at each site some kind of, well, you're gonna have a QR code or whatever, but you can have with that some detail, like a paper flyer that says, congratulations, you've reached number so-and-so.
Yeah.
This is the grave of Paul Revere. And have a certain number of those there. And they just take a page. When they're done, they can keep them all together and then they've got a folder or something
Yeah,
with.
that's a great idea. That's an awesome idea. But that's what we,
So we would provide at each site written information about that site. Okay, cool.
So they'll just scan in their QR, say I'm here, and then they can take a piece of paper.
yeah, where the QR code is, we could put like an envelope there and they can
Yeah.
grab a piece of
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah.
That will give
Yeah.
them details.
So they know they've actually found the right site
Yeah.
as well.
Right.
I've got
I've got a $25 gift certificate to, the Muffin House.
Oh,
They had given us for our, when we did the decorate, what was it? This is the decorating,
For the state of.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know, you now you've got me.
Okay.
When we did the parade,
Yeah, the gingerbread.
the gingerbread, the gingerbread thing.
Yeah, so it was, we didn't have that, just, so it had an extra, and if you want it, you can have it because it shouldn't be used.
Oh,
excellent,
great.
excellent.
Appreciate that.
My daughter works at joint operations. I can see if they can give us a gift card too. I'm sure they would.
Thank you. That would be greatly appreciated.
Don't answer.
But, so we were looking at either like May 17th or maybe early June, because it's with Mother's Day and then Labor Day, show Memorial Day. We were looking at that because we wanted the weather to be decent. We didn't want people to.
And you want while the kids are still in school.
Yeah.
Before
Before they
vacation.
exit, while they're in school and before they exit, correct, and the weather's decent, they're not running through mud or sloshing, through snow or whatever, so that's what we were looking at as far as doing.
Yeah.
But should we finalize the date now so that maybe we can start putting it out there for people to say, hey, we're thinking of doing it, we're gonna be doing it.
So we have to look at Memorial Day weekend, we have to look at Mother's Day.
Correct.
Those are the two big things in June, and then Father's Day is the middle
Middle
of
of
June, that's kind of late.
All right,
Mother's Day's the 11th. I think we had already.
the 17th, the May 17th.
So that's the target?
That's the target.
Okay.
Saturday.
Okay.
We could kick it off like, 8 to 12, they can do the scavenger hunt, or 9 to 1. and then.
Yeah, either one.
That would be good because the, Swandale, Friends of Swandale are doing a cemetery restoration on the 18th.
Oh.
Where they might invite.
No, the 17th, that's a Saturday. I don't know. Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, so 17th of May,
Okay.
we'll either call it 8 to 1, 8 to
Do
12.
you think 4 hours is even too much? Too much of a lag? I mean, I understand.
Well, why don't we say 8 to 11 is a scavenger hunt? That way they have to be back at the town hall, 11:15, and then we can go through and do the prize and all of that stuff. Like a little reception, you know, refreshments like cookies and
Yeah.
drinks and stuff like that, and they have to come back to the town hall.
Yeah.
And that way there, it'll be like 8 to 12, but the scavenger hunt would be 8 to 11.
Okay.
We'd be back at the town hall by 11:15, so that way there we have 45 minutes for a reception and whatever else.
What would you do if it was a rain day?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, I'm only thinking because they set up a rain date, so that's what.
We could do that, maybe is the next.
Next weekend's Memorial Day, so it would have to be, when's Father's Day?
June 15th.
So why don't we say June 7th would be the rain date?
When is the?
Or when's the Friends of the Elder?
Isn't it May 18th?
Oh, I think 14th probably this year because it's a.
Oh,
You know what you're talking about, the
Yeah.
balance bill?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's,
so.
All right, so,
Yeah.
so June 7th be the rain date?
Yep.
Okay, so May 17th. May, June 7th. And be 8.
I mean, we could even do some really easy things like, you know, where is and what was what was the original purpose of the blessing barn? You know, in town, you know, how did that start? Where did that barn come from? What was it part of? What farm was that?
yeah.
I don't know how to name it, but I know that.
That's a great one, because that's something that's central.
It's Rutherford Corner.
That corner,
Yeah.
Well, Dick will have some great ones because
Okay.
he used to take his students
On the trolley, didn't it?
on, well, they used to be the leaders of the
Right.
trolley. The 6th graders would take the 4th graders,
Right.
3rd graders, I guess.
Yeah.
But he would have these quizzes for his kids. So I'm sure he's got a lot of
Yes,
material.
yes.
Yeah.
My son-in-law is very involved with the scouts. So I wonder if they could, and they have a really good parent organization. They have a
I'm glad
lot
to
of
hear that.
parents. I was just with them last Saturday up at Upton, and it's,
Are they amended
they're, yes,
to one?
yes, exactly.
I know. She has an eagle grandson.
My son-in-law was an
Yeah.
eagle.
My son's one, he's from Uxbridge, so, yeah.
You know why? Because it seemed like Troop 1 was beginning to get downhill, so I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
They do really good things too. I read, you know, they do really community involvement. kind of
Yeah,
things.
and that's, I thought, you know, maybe if we could, I'll mention it to my son-in-law.
Yeah,
So, see if the scouts, that would be something that the scouts, I mean, I think they would eat that up.
yeah, maybe they could be positioned at each place.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's a good.
Oh,
that would be
I like
good.
that
That's
idea.
a good community service project.
Like 2 or 3 scouts at each, and a
Yeah.
parent.
Stamping something, you know, like when we went to Washington, my grandson had to do this with the scouts. Every place we went in Washington, he got a passport
Oh, all right.
stamped.
And I mean, that might work towards a badge or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Oh, that's an idea.
yeah,
Cool.
so mention that. Anybody can get anything else?
I think we should maybe ask Dick Grady to join us next month.
Yes.
That would be
Good idea.
great. I can send out an invite. I don't have his email though. Do you?
I've got it.
Okay,
I've got it. I'll talk to him in the meantime.
okay, perfect.
Yeah, I bet he'd love this.
Okay, and we'll set a date tonight too, so you'll have a date to, if you want to do.
Oh,
that.
yes, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll rearrange the date. probably.
Yes, yes,
They do
yes,
for
of
it.
course, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it really is, yeah.
Anybody else have any other business that we?
Is there any, anything to sign?
I have any stuff to sign.
Okay.
Do. Jim unfortunately is sick, his whole family is sick, so that's why he's not here tonight. Unfortunately, it seems.
Well, we had it a week and a half ago, the whole house.
Let it blue go.
Knock on wood, I didn't get the flu aspect, but I got the cough and the hackingness, and I was like, oh, I had that 3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh my God.
Winter and night.
Well, I think it's, we're not used to this, we've been mild for so long, and all of a sudden it was like,
Right.
okay, I'm back, I
Shock.
really do exist.
That's right.
It was cold weather, it's killing me.
That's what I keep thinking.
Yes.
Fill the tips, yeah.
Yes, that
That would be
too,
nice, yeah.
Any other business that anybody have?
I think we're off to a good start.
Yeah, this looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So for our next meeting, we'll be talking March, wow.
That might be spring muscle.
You're right.
I always forget because everybody's schedule changes. Is there one night that's better than another for everybody?
I'm pretty flexible.
I'm okay.
Okay.
You want to do March 11th, that Tuesday?
I
do. You can't come on a Tuesday, okay. How about March 12th then? March 12th, 7 o'clock again? All right.
And I'll send an email to Dick and to see if he can join us in that, and I'll let y'all know.
Please,
Yes,
yeah.
conflict.
March 12th.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure, yep.
I think this will be fun to do.
And I'll be there for long.
They can do it in groups. or
They can do, you can have as many people in-
Yeah.
in your group, or you can do it, like you said, by yourself. It doesn't matter. It's
Well,
always
there's so many different things. I mean, just going along by the only cook shop.
Yeah.
So many people see this.
Yes.
So I don't.
What is that?
I'm going to find out,
Mhm.
because that's definitely a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why, like, just to learn about it, it'd be so much fun.
Mhm. It's gonna be good, very good, great idea.
Even the scouts will.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Be good for them.
Yeah.
Well, if we have nothing else to talk about.
Not usually this fast.
I love
Feeling.
We're-
Yes.
We run a tight ship.
I know.
We could have gone to the bar.
I'm gonna motion to 7:20 that we adjourn our meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
And I will work on these minutes.
Well, they're not going to be very long.
No, they're not going to be very long.
We were up like 15. But this is the most efficient